And we welcome everyone for coming here today, and especially on Sheila, her birthday today, so thank you.
Happy birthday,
Sheila. Happy birthday for being here today. We'll start on our minutes. Our secretaries have had a chance to look at the minutes, please. Okay, let's get oh, public comment, I'm sorry. Up there, public comment. Right now I have public comment. Our first person to speak will be Mr. Bill Archer. Bill?
Thank you, Gary.
You cannot, it's too late.
Bill?
Thank you for your time today. I'm Bill Archer, and I've served as the officer at the Town Acres precinct since 2002. I began working in early voting in 2020 and served as the officer at the Jonesboro site at ETSU in 2022, and this year at the Gray Fire Hall. It's been my pleasure since Dana was appointed as AOE to work with and for her during the election cycles. I found her to be very professional and dedicated in providing the best service possible to the voters of Washington County. She has implemented numerous improvements in the training procedures and has standardized the layouts for all the polls, always using the applicable state laws as her guide. Voting policies are uniform and fairly applied. She has modernized the training and workflow at the polls. This has been a great improvement, resulting in heightened efficiency and transparency in all we do. These improvements have made our jobs as poll workers much easier and clearer since we have written instructions for all positions which we can use in the polling place. If we have questions, we can always call the very well-trained election staff here at the election office. As a certified AOE, Dana possesses several skill sets, including organization, leadership, and financial management. She is a straightforward and no-nonsense executive. She establishes clear guidelines and rules and expects those rules to be followed. I appreciate the fact that she communicates what acceptable behavior is and what acceptable behavior is not. I like that style of management because there is no gray area for interpretation. At no time have I observed Dana being rude or discourteous to a voter or poll worker. She is certainly forthright and assertive with excellent traits and leadership skills. She is very decisive. If she knows about a situation or a problem that needs to be addressed, she is not hesitant to do that. Again, that's a good trait to me. I would respectfully ask you to reconsider your vote and retain her in her capacity because the voters of Washington County are indeed fortunate enough to have someone of her character and integrity in this position. Thank you again for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. And again, you have 3 minutes to speak. Please come forward and state your full name and your address. Oops, sorry for that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I'm Dave Wohlrath. I'm speaking as a citizen of Washington County, not on behalf of any civic organization. I find this commission's recent decision to fire Dana Jones to be shocking, capricious, and arbitrary. Over the past 3 years, I have attended 35 meetings of this commission, and I cannot recall any discussion, much less any criticism of her management skills or attitude. On the contrary, her monthly reports as an administrator to you have detailed her many activities and accomplishments in serving the citizens of Washington County and provided you with lots of opportunity to bring up issues that you had with her management and attitude. Over the past few years, I have also attended election commission meetings in Sullivan, Carter, Unicoi, Greene, and Johnson counties. In my opinion, Dana Jones has performed as well as or better than any other administrator of elections in this area. Besides certifying election results, hiring, overseeing, and firing an administrator of elections are the most important responsibilities of a county election commission. The decision process leading to this firing appears to have been secretive, not transparent. The motion was an unannounced item of new business. Everyone seemed surprised by the motion. Although it quickly received a second, there was only a single brief comment of discussion before the vote. 3 years ago, Washington County experienced a troubled, non-transparent process of selecting an administrator of elections. In March 2021, the Election Commission selected the chief deputy to replace the retiring AOE. In April 3rd, three new commissioners rescinded that decision and selected an outsider, Dana, as AOE over the objections of the two returning commissioners. Now, going forward, this commission should rise to the challenge of following more transparent processes of selecting and overseeing an administrator of elections. Yes, an AOE should earn the trust of employees, but it's as important, if not more important, for this commission to earn the trust of Washington County citizens by selecting and overseeing an AOE in more open, deliberative ways. Thank you.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Yes, Bo Westmoreland, 700 Mountain View Circle South, Johnson City. I've been a resident of the Tri-Cities my whole life. My parents grew up here. I'm from here. My whole family's from here. I feel like I have met a lot of people in my life. I'm a dentist here in town. I've been practicing almost 30 years. I run a multi-million-dollar company. I say that because I have met a ton of people, and I'm going to tell a little story, and I have a letter for each of the commissioners that I'll leave as I go. When I decided to maybe dip my toe into the pool of this, I ran for city commission this year, and when I decided to join, it was very late notice, and I literally had one day. And Jenny Brock made a phone call, and Dana met me here at 7:25 in the morning on, I think it was Thursday. Never met me, didn't know anything about me, but she met me here and opened the place up, and she went through all the paperwork. She explained to me everything. She helped me with the time crunch, as did Sheila, and I think her name's Rocky. Everybody down here, it was a first-class operation. I did not win, but I met a ton of great people. And Dana and Sheila are at the top of that list. And I have said that multiple times to people well before this event has happened. Sheila very well knows how I had to call several times, and they both returned my call. They run a tight ship, and you have to run a tight ship. This country is getting out of hand, and especially something as incredibly important as the integrity of our elections, that it has to be done right. And people getting soft these days and can't handle some criticism and whatever, I just refuse to believe that the, quote, attitude is a fire worthy. I mean, it has to be done. I have to be a certain way at my office or it falls apart. And I feel like I have a few gifts in life, and one of them is reading people. And I think Dana Jones is as fine a person as I have met. And she takes immense pride in the few conversations she and I have had about how this county, and I'm only going by the limited knowledge I have, but apparently was 95th out of 95 and is now 4th in some metric. I don't know what that is. But she told me one day when I was running, she said she takes this so serious because she represents the people of our city and county, and it's our money, and she wants to be sure it's all done right. And if that hurts feelings of somebody that she wrote up, or there's an attitude, well, I, for one, am glad that that's the way it's run down here. That's the way it has to be run down here. I would highly recommend, we need Dana in this position, and I would highly recommend you reconsider your vote on that. To be honest, I was shocked and appalled, and I don't get shocked and appalled much.
Thank you,
But
Dr.
can I leave? Thank you. Can I leave these?
Yes, you can, sure.
Thank you for your time.
Attorney Williams?
Afternoon, Terry Williams, 179 Hayfield Drive in Johnson City. I'm a local physician, although I just got to celebrate retirement 1 month ago. First, I want to thank the commission for your efforts. You see at times like this, it's a relatively thankless job, but we know that Ms. Jones doesn't revitalize this organization the way she's been able to do, in my opinion, without input from good commissioners. So it's a team effort, and we appreciate what you do, and I know what you're paid, and it's not enough. However, you have a serious issue today, and I'm not really speaking in favor or in opposition to anyone's continued employment. I just remember responding to a plethora of phone calls that I've had over the last week. Most of those phone calls are in support of Mrs. Jones' continuation in her efforts to modernize the election commission. I think her interactions in general with the community and with people such as myself are overwhelmingly positive. I've never had a negative interaction with her, and it's been my impression that she's done a good job. I also am a realist. An administrator also has employees, and the employees deserve to be treated in a certain manner. And I think everybody that worked in my office for years knew that while patients came first, employees were a close second, and they needed to be treated reasonably and appropriately. If there are issues regarding administrator-employee interactions, then I would hope that those have been attempted to be addressed, and perhaps they're not addressable. In which case, if there's a serious issue that is not addressable, then perhaps you made the correct choice. But I do know the public is very concerned about her termination. In general, 99% of the phone calls that I've gotten, and I've gotten a lot, are in support of Ms. Jones. The public, and including myself, do not have all the data that you all have. We're not at the meetings. We're not doing all the other things that go on. So whatever decision you make, I would at least encourage you to be as forthcoming as one can, considering employee privacy and the laws of the state, to let the public know why this decision was made, okay? And that this decision was made without the undue influence of external people not directly associated with this board, because that is what I'm hearing. It's the process and our people from outside influence in it. Again, I thank you. I'm confident you'll come up with the right decision, and I appreciate what you do. Thank you very much.
Sherry?
My name is Sherry Susan. I live at 1315 Indian Ridge Road in Johnson City. And I just want to tell you, public speaking is not my forte. But I do thank you for allowing me to speak and advocate on behalf of Dana Jones. To me, election integrity has many attributes, including fairness, transparency, and accountability. It is also said that an organization is the reflection of leadership. With regards to election integrity, that leadership is the election commission. The commission sets policy. The commission hires an administrator. The commission sets the tone. The commission is ultimately responsible for election integrity in Washington County. In my view, the action of the commission with regards to Dana hurt this mandate. First, I do not believe that the action was fair to Dana. From the outside looking in, it appeared to be a blindside. Again, from the outside looking in, the transparency of this decision appears questionable. It was not on the agenda, it had not been previously discussed, and it appeared to be a surprise to most. Finally, the commission absolutely does have the right to hold Dana accountable for her actions with regards to her work. But in my opinion, this wasn't done. In fact, the commission praised the actual work that she has done as administrator. The only reason given for her dismissal was attitude. To my mind, this is subjective. Dana resourcefully got this election office nonprofit postage, which it didn't have before. It was always available. All she had to do was ask. She found Princess Art Center for a new center when the 3.5 new office was a budget buster. The cost was $147,000. Employees' minimum wage has risen from $15 an hour to $21 an hour, improving their work-home balance. She received state approval to go to convenience voting centers in 2026. This will be very popular with the voters. These are just a few items that prove Dana's resourcefulness, tax dollar stewardship, supervision of staff, and desire to make voting easier for the voter. Dana is professional, organized, and an excellent communicator. She doesn't play politics, there's no backstabbing, no unproductive phoning. She clearly communicates the goal, gives guidance to achieve that goal, and then expects it to be done. After all, we're all adults, and she expects us to act accordingly. This is no different from what any excellent supervisor does. Dana's management style embodies fairness, transparency, and accountability from herself, and she asks for no less from her employees and her poll workers. I believe you have done a disservice to Dana, the employees, the poll workers, the county, and ultimately to the voters. I hope you will correct this decision by reversing it. Washington County deserves the best, and Dana Jones fits that bill.
That concludes our public comment at this time. Everyone signed up. This time again, thank y'all for coming. Our minutes, if you're looking over our minutes, everybody had a chance to look at our minutes? Okay.
I make a motion to approve as written.
There's a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All right. Okay. Any further discussion on the minutes? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Minutes passed. Our next agenda item is discussion of administrator of elections position. And I have to make just a comment here just to let y'all know what there's I have talked to our county attorney and from the lawyers in Nashville, and there could be a possible procedural error in the motion to terminate the election administrator from our last meeting. It was not on the agenda to allow, we did not allow for public comment. It has been on the current agenda. To remedy this, I would ask if anyone would like to change their vote at this time. If no one does, I would ask the secretary to annotate that in minutes. Does anyone want to change their vote at this time? Okay. Seeing that no one wants to change their vote, please read the minutes. Okay. We'll move forward on there. On that item. So the vote stands as of last week. Vote stands. All right. We'll move forward now. We want to discuss the position of a new election administrator. I've handed out, I'm telling you, this is what I've talked to. I did talk to our legal representation in Nashville about hiring a new administrator. Again, they said the only thing, or the two pieces of law that refer to that, 2-12-116, I have that in there, and 2-12-117. Basically, it's up to us how we'd like to hire. We can hire, keep the same person, however we want to do it. It's basically up to us how we want to follow the procedures. They just must meet the certain criteria that are in the law. Anybody we hire. So how would we like to move forward for the election administrator position? Any comments?
I would like to propose that we keep the interim administrator for a period of at least 90 days in an evaluationary capacity, and then revisit that subject in 90 days.
Okay, is that a motion? Or you want further discussion? You want discussion on
More
that?
discussion.
Any more discussion on that before, any other discussion? So, we can keep Ms. Hayes here for 90 days, is kind of just to see how, and then readdress the situation in 90 days. I think we also probably may want to talk about compensation for that 90 days period too as well.
Okay.
We need to address that, how we do that.
Okay, then if there's no other discussion, I'll make that into a motion.
Second.
Second by John A. So there's a motion on the table to keep Sheila Hayes as the interim election administrator for the next 90 days. We'll revisit that in 90 days. Okay. All those, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Well, thank you, and hopefully you agree to do that. I hope.
Yes.
Good. Thank you so much for working with us on that. Is there any other discussion coming right now on the election administrator's position at this time? Anyone else? Nothing? Okay, under new business, just to let you know, under new business, there was a complaint served against the Washington County Election Commission for the previous November election. I'll just state this, I have not talked to legal counsel, I'm not gonna make any comment at this time. It's up to you if you wanna make a comment, but right now, that's just what, as of right now, just to be aware that it's been filed in Chancery Court as of last Wednesday, and we'll have to move forward, see how that plays out, what happens next. Any additional, again, I haven't heard back from council on anything, I haven't moved forward with anything at this time. Okay. All right, our next meeting is, anything else? Go ahead, have new business?
January
I'm sorry?
14th.
Any other new business come before? Anything else? New business?
No.
Anybody else? So our next meeting is
January 14th.
January 14th.
January 14th at 9:30, is that correct?
Yes.
Is everybody good with that?
Good for me.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm hoping I won't be on a,
Oh, yes, you're gonna have surgery, yes,
I
that'll be
hope
okay.
I won't be, I'll just be on a walker or just
All right, so we scheduled our meeting. Anything else? Well, thank everyone for coming out today. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion for John A. Second?
Second.
Second, Laura. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you again. We are adjourned. Thank you.